guys, Scoutwit here. Today we're going to be making matchstick rockets. John, we're going to see between me and John who can make theirs go the furthest. I don't know. John, who's going to go the furthest?
Mine.
I don't know. Stay tuned to see how to make them. Hey guys, so this is what we're going to need to make our matchstick rockets today. We're going to need some foil, a ruler, some cardboard, some kitchen roll, some matches. Redhead matches, strike anywhere matches are the best, but it doesn't matter, it'll work with any matches. Some scissors, a multi-tool or something to cut wire with, a pen, a lighter. The blowtorch lighters are actually better for when you're outside, if this works. There we go. Some Blutac, don't need it, but it's good to stabilise it and hold it secure when you're firing it. And then some wire. I've used an old coat hanger. You can also use barbecue skewers. If you've got a barbecue skewer, that will work as well, but I find it's better with the wire. So let's get on with the rest of the video. So the first part of making matchstick rockets is to have a template, so that we can cut out the foil correctly every time. I've just used a piece of card from a box. I'm going to show you how to make that now. So get a scrap piece of card and we're going to measure it out. So make sure you've got one right angle here, so you can go from there. So the measurements are as follows. So we're going to measure 11 centimeters. Then we're going to measure 6 centimeters. And then we're going to measure on this side 5 centimeters. And then on the end here, it's 1.5 centimeters. So all we've got to do then is just draw our template out. And then all we're going to do is we're going to join these two ends here. Like so. And that's our template. So all we've got to do is cut this out now. So for this we're going to need some foil and one sheet of kitchen roll will do. Now the reason we use kitchen roll in it is when we roll it up, when we're making lots of templates at the same time. If you just fold the foil on top of each other and then cut it, the foil will all get stuck together and it will be a bit of a nightmare. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some kitchen roll in. I'm just going to cut a sheet off this off. And then we're going to fold it over. Now we need to make sure that our template actually fits onto each section. Okay, so just make sure, keep that in mind as you're doing it. So we're going to fold it over once. Template fits on perfect. And we're going to fold again. Just check that your template fits every time. And we're going to fold again, like so. Now the next thing to do is we're going to use our template here to draw out some sections. You should be able to get 3 lots. It depends on the size of your foil, and any foil will do as well, but we should be able to get 3 lots of templates onto one sheet, like so. So you can see we've got all our templates cut out there. So next thing we need to do is we need to cut these out. put them to one side. Next we're going to make our launching tube. Using, like I said, you can use a barbecue skewer if you want to, or I'm using an old coat hanger here. Be careful when you're chopping this. I would say you need roughly 10 centimetres. It doesn't matter how long, but no less than 10 centimetres in length. So just chop a piece off there. On one of the ends, if you didn't get a clean cut, you just want to file it off just to make it nice and round so it doesn't get caught. This is the launching tube, so you don't want it to get caught when it's trying to fire off. So you just use a nail file. Just flatten off the ends and the edges so it's nice and smooth, and make sure that it's completely straight. If it's not completely straight, it won't fire correctly. So the next thing we're going to need is the matchstick heads. This is how we're gonna, this is our propulsion system. This is how we're going to launch our rockets. So what we need to do is we need to cut a lot of the ends off. You'll need a really sharp pair of scissors for this. What we've done, just so you're not constantly doing it, is we've made a load up. So you can just chop as many as you want up. Okay, so now we're ready to make our first rocket. So what we're going to do is going to get one of our cutout templates already, like this. We're going to get our launching tube. There. We're going to make sure we're using our rounded off end, or if you use it, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as there's no sharp bits on the end, or there's nothing for it to stop it launching off of the tube, that'll be fine. Don't worry if your templates aren't exactly straight, it doesn't really matter. So then what we're going to do is we're going to get one of our matchstick heads. Make sure it's a whole head and it hasn't got bits missing off of it. Make sure it's a whole head, that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just roll the edges a little bit, and we're going to put our match head. So the match head is touching the end of the launch tube, okay? And then we're going to carefully roll it over. This bit is a bit fiddly. I find it easier to pick it up and roll it. You just want to make sure that it's touching the end inside like so. And then we're just going to roll it over gently. Couple sides. Now you want to make sure this is quite a tight roll, but not so tight that it won't launch off the tube. Okay, so if you can twist this, the end here, then you've got plenty of give. So you're going to roll 3 times over, and then on the end here we're just going to flatten it, and we're going to make a diagonal fold over. That is very important, because if you don't do this, when it explodes at the end, it will just come out the end and nothing will happen. Okay, and then we're going to carefully carry on rolling, making sure to keep it nice and tight. Like so. Oh, if it comes undone, just redo it again. Keep on rolling. Like so. I'm going to roll it all the way to the end. Once it's nice and tight on there, what we're going to do with the end bit here, just flatten it so you can feel the end of the matchstick inside, and then we're going to twist it quite hard. So when it explodes at the end, no air can escape. The only air that can escape is coming off the tube. Okay? So what we've done with some of our rockets is, if you want to add, is we've got some stickers. You could just get a little square label sticker like so. You could just add some, just fold it in half, fold it in half again, and just take out the middle section like so. Cut some fins off the ends like that. And then when you open it up, you should have something like this. And what you want to do can get your Blutac, stick your Blutac down on the table, stick your tube in like so, and then put it over and just fold the fins together like so, making sure it doesn't stick to the actual tube. And then you've got a rocket. You can decorate this however you want. It's not guaranteed that everyone will fire correctly. John actually beat me today on his firing, so don't worry if they don't. I will sit here and make about 20 or 30 of these because they're quite fun to fire off. Just make sure that you're not firing this indoors on any carpet or any flammable surfaces, because these get very, very hot and they will melt. So do them outside. In the garden, if you haven't got a garden, go out on the patio. Make sure you don't aim them at people. You can make a target or something, but just be careful, these do get very, very hot when they're firing, okay? One. So, I hope you enjoyed the matchstick rockets.